Hope all is well. E-Cushion is tapping in from the studio. Today we're gonna focus on song learning, and we didn't necessarily address it in the large portion of this semester. We talked a lot about metronome work. We covered some basics, some rudiments, namely. We covered some concepts about listening. We covered some concepts that enable us to focus on how to listen more. But one thing that is really important is how to listen to songs so that we can lift the ideas from the songs and integrate them into our personalities, and integrate them into our playing style so that we can just access them like we would access anything, like a computer would access a file, right? So I'm going to show you my process, and let's see how it works for you. Please leave some comments. Make sure you subscribe to NGO Radio Terra. I want to thank my endorsement, Tamburo Drums, a fantastic company, Proel, another fantastic company, straight out of Italy. These drums are amazing. This is the opera series that I'm playing on right now, and shout out to Roland as well. I play SPDS pads to sample and do all of my MD work and playback stuff live. So I'm going to go ahead and pick something that I actually haven't worked on before and show you how I learn it. Let's pick something. Let's pick a good beat. That's a dope beat too. And we're not necessarily going to focus on learning the song form, but we're just going to focus on lifting the beat and my process for that. That'll work. We'll use that. So this is a Black Sheep beat by the 90s classic hip-hop band Black Sheep. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and listen to the beat on loop and integrate it into my memory, just like I would with the tempo, right? When I start a tempo, I listen to it, and before I start playing, I make sure that I've really thought about what it would be like to play it. And so the same thing happens when I start this beat right here. I'm thinking to myself, what would it be like if I played this? So you out there, listen to the beat and start imagining how you would play the hi-hat part, the snare part, and the kick part. So the hi-hat part is kind of got like a 16th note swinging thing. And let me put the click on. It's 97 BPM. Right? So no openings. Right? None of that. Just straight chickadee chick. Let's check out the bass drum. Okay. So 1 EN, a 2 EN, a 3 EN, a 4 EN, a 1 EN, a 2 EN, a 3 EN, a 4. 1 EN, a 2 EN, a 3 EN, a 4 EN, a 1 EN, a 2 EN, a 3 EN, a 4. Okay? 16th note pattern. Now we're going to add the snare. Okay, I just noticed that little space at the end. Let me hear it one more time. Yeah. Let me change the snare sample that's attached to this kit real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to add the snare on 2 and 4. All right, sorry, we're back to 97. Sorry, that sound came back. Technical difficulties. Sorry, y'all. All right, resetting the metronome. So notice how the first time around I didn't really get that space, right? I thought that it was. Right? But after I listened to it, I broke it down in my head and I really, really took a chance to absorb it, and I realized there was that space at the end. Space. 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 All right, now let me see if I'm getting the right amount of swing on that hi-hat part, though. not quite, but it's also not. So somewhere in between. Okay, cool. So that sums it up for the Black Sheep beat. Let's move on. Let's try another one. I just loaded up a bunch of different random samples, so I'm kind of doing a Powerball, a sample Powerball right now. Let's see what comes up. I want to do that, but I don't really have the beat lined up in there, and I don't want the copyright police to come after us. So let's find something else that I can play. Let's see let's see. I want to give you guys the best possible example. Let's do this. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right. Okay, so one thing I did not address is matching sounds. I inherently chose to play a cross stick on that last Black Sheep beat. But I didn't really mention that I had to listen for that sound, and that one wasn't so hard, right? It's like, it wasn't this, it was this. But in this particular case, It's probably a snare, like that, but it's super super lo-fi. So to me, it sounds like a brush. Right? So again. Okay, I'm listening for the parts, so keep listening with me. Second thoughts about the brush. Maybe I'll put that on the hi-hat. We know there's a tambourine in there. So at this point, I'm going to stop listening to it, and I am going to go ahead and just play what it is that I've absorbed already, just to see what it is that I know, and then we'll go back and reference it and see how far we've got. Let's tap the tempo. there's a shaker in there. I need that. So plus the tambourine. Section here. Nothing really changes in the drums. We have to be mindful of that as we are learning this song, right? And also I noticed that I'm playing the snare too loud. That's also something we need to pay attention to. Not only do we need to get the pattern right? But we need to get the sound right. And we also need to get the volume of each sound right. So the snare is a lot lower. It doesn't have this impact. It has this impact. So I needed to get the ghost notes right. I'm going to turn up the snare too on my mixer. That's a nice happy groove. So I really like this beat. I definitely think I'm going to incorporate it into my DJ sets and may even sample this in some beats. I don't know who this is, so I'm going to Shazam it and get back to you on that. I really, I try and match the volumes because, you know, the drum set is so much about texture. So getting this sound with the mallet instead of a stick versus it just sounds warmer and fatter when you play softer sometimes. The brush is so that I can dig in a little bit harder and still get the right volume, but I can allow my body to take shape. Also, the the shaker in my right hand along with the brush is a nice texture combination. Like, I like it better than stick and shaker. Right? Here's stick. The stick overpowers the shaker sound. So that's why it's this. Right? It's nice. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you guys enjoyed listening to and watching me go through the process, which is really a time-based process that forces us to sit down and really meditate on what we're hearing, internalize it, and then do our best to remember it. It's important to retain as much of the rhythm information as possible, which is why it's really important to listen. Like we do to the metronome before we start to play. And I'm guilty of it too. I love playing so much. Sometimes I get excited that I'll jump right in and just start playing, And sometimes I'm not always on point when I jump right in, but I have to listen first to the beat or the metronome or the song that I'm learning and really internalize it before I begin. That's the moral of the story. Present with every quarter note. I'm aware that each one is happening and when it's happening. And I'm only afforded that luxury by really absorbing it and listening to it. And when I say absorb, that's really a personal experience. I don't know what it's like for any other human being to absorb other than myself, but I know that when I absorb, it's only after I free my mind of other thoughts and only focus on what I'm listening to, right? So I hope this has been helpful. We're going to continue to follow up and revisit some of the ideas that we started earlier on in the semester. If you have any questions, tap in with me in the comments. Feel free to email me at ecushionist@gmail.com. That's ECUSSIONIST@gmail.com. I'm also eCushionist on all social media platforms, and I'm here every Wednesday with NGO Radio Terra, and I'm really excited to be a drum educator and professional musician, and I hope to inspire you all out there to do the same and let music heal your lives and bring much joy to those in your communities. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Peace.